Howdy ho, it's Rauta time, and today we have a special guest here on Rauta's opinion video. Opinion about what? Well, Turku saatanalle, Turku for Satan festival. As you can see, we have the poster here indicating its 8th time. We have the date, which is early March of 2020, and this time we have a different venue. What I have here is Mr. Jussi Helenius. Welcome to Rauta, a frequent visitor almost. You are one of the head of operations guy at Metallihelvetti, the organizer of Turku saatanalle 8th. This year we have some changes compared to previous years. First of the most important things which the audience needs to know is that we have a different venue. Outside city central we have actual racetrack for horses. What the hell is that all about?
Actually, the festival is not held on the track.
Well,
because some people were seriously asking about if we are going to keep an outside festival, but of course not. It will be inside the audience hall of the racetrack, and it takes something like 500-600 people. So it's basically will be our biggest hall ever. Biggest capacity for the festival ever, and the place is located 6-7 kilometers from the city center, but there will be like almost non-stop bus transportation.
Where's the bus leaving and coming to?
It's leaving from the bus station from a special bus stop. Of course, the local buses go there. But after the shows there is no local transportation, so we have arranged that special big bus to take our audience away from there also.
Okay, so
of course all the taxis and whatever are going, but.
Yeah, and it's not too expensive, by the way. People are often asking these kind of questions, like how much it can cost, and if I take a taxi, how much time it takes, how much money it takes. Rest assured, we're talking about relatively almost like walking distances, not maybe literally, but anyway. So it's kind of easy to get back and forth with taxis and these buses.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, why racetrack for horses? It sounds almost bizarre in the terms of like, let's go have this satanic extreme metal festival on a racetrack. What's the story behind, like, briefly?
Well, actually. The company behind the racetrack offered their hall to us like last year when we had the problem with the sudden venue change, and then actually they were one option for us, one of 3 or 4 actually, who offered their premises for us, but then. We couldn't take the offer because it was not as easy for us
to organize
and as the one where we actually went to the Logomo venue, and but this year it was not possible to arrange at the Logomo anymore because the hall where we arranged that last time it's not in use anymore. It was renewed for to be a bunch of offices and some warehouse.
So basically, you were forced to go out.
Because the only possible option in Logomo was the main hall for us, which was way too big and expensive. Of course, we could have everything from the house there, but the basic expensive would have exploded through the roof. So
yeah,
it would have been like 4 times more expensive than we have ever had before. So it was we should have like expanded the festival at the same time, like try to double the audience amount, and we cannot take that risk. This is do-it-yourself kind of thing, and not a profession for anyone.
Yeah. Now, people need to understand that, obviously, even Finland, the capital country for metal in the world, or whatever you want to use, that kind of a gimmick term, is that these kind of a smaller events, and soon we're going to talk about the bands because you're obviously keen to know more about them. The thing here is, even in places like Helsinki, which is many times bigger than Turku area, the thing is, it's just impossible in the terms of money, expenses, and whatnot to organize these events. But you have been able to pull it off many times. Like I said, this is Turku saatanalle 8, and even this kind of a exotic venue, it is possible to host kind of a interesting lineup. Maybe we should talk about a little bit of these bands. You have two headliners from Norway, kind of a modern and classic Norwegian black metal act. Then we have Sinmara from Iceland. We have some Finnish bands like Örn, Archgoat, Malum, Ky, Black Beast, and Oceans, Seidur, and Mephoras from Sweden, and obviously Usurper from United States. Now, obviously, most people are gonna expect some black metal bands like Toulouse and Raid, but I don't know. For me, for example, seeing Usurper in my home city and coming from all the way from the States, and this is the first time, if I understood correctly.
Yeah, it's the first time in Finland, and actually Usurper was booked 1 year ago. This was we confirmed the show with them. I don't know why, I just wanted to do that. Why not? Like 1 week before the last event we had, and we published it 1 year ago. So it was just they are death metal, old school death metal, but they have always had this grim and devilish approach there, and that and their cross is definitely upside down.
Yeah, I have been sometimes, like many years ago, I remember comparing Usurper to bands like, it's like American version of what Niflheim has in Sweden, like combination of black metal, death metal, and thrash metal, and even classic heavy metal elements, and also what Destroyer 666 brought from Australia. But they all sound kind of different, but also have these kind of a hybrid of different extreme styles in the old school way. So it's going to be interesting, but it's not headlining here. How did you end up having Toulouse and Raid as the headlining acts?
I wasn't thinking Usurper as a headliner in the beginning at all, because even though they're a great band and they're long time band, they are not as big in Finland, I think.
It's kind of an unknown.
Yeah, but that's why, and I think it's also their own advantage that they're not playing the last, because I think, like for example in Finland, the Archgoat and those Norwegian bands, they have like more followers, so we can keep the constant amount of audience for the whole night, and the maximum amount of people will see also Usurper.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Because there will be quite long days there.
Yeah, it's gonna be tiresome in a way.
So doors open at 6 o'clock and close at 2:30.
All right.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about a little bit these lineups in terms of other bands. Everybody should know Toulouse, even it's not the biggest of Norwegian black metal bands. It's very long timer. Raid is a little bit newer, but it has veterans of the genre and scene. Archgoat is having sort of a special gig here.
Yeah.
What can you tell about it?
Yeah, I don't know about the contents, if the show itself is special, but it's their only show in Finland
in 2020.
In 2020, and that was agreed with the band, and they actually asked us that if we want to invite them for such a exclusive show, and we were like, okay, they have played at our festival 2 or 3 times before. One time was like a sudden replacement,
but still,
maybe not counting, but still, and we were quite uncertain about it. But then we were like, what the hell? They're the boys of our hometown, so so it's an honor to have them to play their only show, like after 30 years of their existence, and they're still going strong.
That's true. Then we have Sinmar from Iceland, and your team, especially Mikko, who was here, by the way, last year in the interview, is kind of an Icelandic fan. You also been in Iceland. What makes this Icelandic scene so, I don't know, interesting and approachable that you want to have Icelandic bands? Last year you have Odin. Now you have Sinmara. What's the thing with Metalli Helvetti and Icelandic bands?
Well, It's Mikko's fault.
Mikko's fault.
Yeah.
Let's not touch
Let's
that
blame
joke.
him. Yeah, but he's our Icelandic black metal specialist, and he's actually. It just happened that he has taken care of booking the Icelandic bands now, like 4th year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a. I think there has been and there is very like special and somehow even exotic and growing black metal scene in Iceland.
It's small, but there are various bands.
Small and I don't know if there are maybe some same guys coming to our festival with another band who have been here in the previous years, but still the bands have their own like distinctive sound
Yeah.
and the special atmosphere in the songs, and I think they fit perfectly because we want to be a festival which offers like almost all the variety of black metal, and Icelandic black metal is one of the special ones these days.
One of the third wave pioneers in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a more like broader look. So we have some Norwegian black metal with Toulouse and Raid. We have Sinmar from Iceland. We have Ern, which is kind of a black trash from Finland. Archgoat doing the kind of a classic Black Death combo. We have Usurper playing that kind of a hybrid of sorts. We have Black Beast, which came last year out with their first album. You can actually spot our interview with those guys at Steel Chaos 2019 in case you're interested.
And their first show also last year. This is the second show.
So this is the second show.
Yeah.
So in case you missed the first one, now it's a good chance to take another look. We also have Ky, which is only one album out, but active Finnish black metal band. We have Malum, a local black metal band, which came last year also out with their best album so far. And then we have this Swedish band Meforash, which I think it's a little bit underrated, but also quite a known black metal band from Sweden. How did you end up this being the only Swedish name in your lineup?
Yeah, it was actually one of the last bands or even the last one, I don't remember. It was just I just noticed that there had been some like small hype or some interest. Hype is a stupid word, but
It's
you know what I mean.
word.
You know what I mean. Around the band, and I noticed through my work, which I somehow
A record store guy.
The record store, I noticed which bands are selling, and of course they're not selling like
Big amounts,
insane
anyway.
numbers or anything, but I noticed this band which I hadn't heard only the name before, and then I checked it. I checked some videos from YouTube and listened to the latest album, and I was like, okay, this would suit well especially in the lineup, because they are also in the part of the black metal which is like those mystic hooded whatever
Whatever
a
causes.
lot of candles and mystical atmosphere and like those with like I don't know, maybe Batuska started that kind of thing or something like that. But that's also one part of black metal which we are representing, and I personally I like bands which are giving more
Like a visual side?
Yeah, they're giving more on the stage than just playing. They're putting on like a backdrops.
Not just not
some
just rock and roll, but something else.
So like the visual side is important, and it's like supporting the musical side, and there it's like a whole entity moved from the album to the stage. And that's it. And I contacted them and I offered them a deal, and they said, "Yeah, tack."
Yeah, tack. Yeah, nice to have in Finland. We have Cider, which is used to be under a different moniker. You mentioned that.
Yeah, it's a local small band. They went by the name Northern Incarnation, and they have played in our event one or two times before. And,
Quite promising name, but still not.
Yeah,
like, big.
It's quite good melodic northern black metal. Yeah.
Yeah. And last but definitely not least, we have a kind of a comeback band here, And Oceans. I'm trying not to block the view. And Oceans is back with a new vocalist, and also they have a new album coming out, but they were kind of a forgotten, even though they are kind of old school or people from the 90s are obviously remembering that name. But how come it fell all the way down here like one of the smaller bands?
It was just our
What can you expect?
just our designer who
Yeah, let's just put it at the bottom. Nobody will notice.
because they replaced one local band which was under there, and then she replaced the logo, and I was okay. Let it.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
The people who know the band don't
give a damn.
don't give a damn. Everybody will know this anyway.
What will you expect from Oceans now that they have this kind of a new vocalist and all that stuff?
Actually, I have no really like special expectations about that. I know that they're like the two first albums, which and the new album is like similar in the vein of the two first ones, which is symphonic black metal type of stuff. But the last time I saw Oceans, they had released those more industrial
Material, cipher,
influenced albums, and I saw them live, and it was totally different show back then. And actually, I like those two albums, but it's like two totally different bands.
Yeah, in a way.
Yet they're released under the same name. But as I have understood, the new album will follow the style of where they started in the 90s. So in that aspect, they will fit very well in our festival as well, and also like we have had those older Finnish bands before, like of course like we have Archcode now and Earn, but also it's been 25 years since and those were founded, so it's a veteran band, so to speak. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. If you had to pick, I know you're kind of a biased, being one of the organizers, but if you had to pick like one band per day, which you totally not want to miss, like your favorite of the day, which would be your tip? First, if we talk about this day here or that day.
Yeah, of course, Toulouse is, especially now when I have heard some songs from the new album, which is actually released the same day they play in our festival.
All right.
Just coincidence, but I'm really looking forward to that, because it's that old school mid-paced black metal.
They're kind of a different way.
Yeah, it is, but still it's they have their own kind of boneheaded style. Like they don't give a damn about what is going on in nowadays black metal scene, I suppose.
What about the other day then?
No, definitely Usurper, because it was the first pick and for the festival 1 year ago, and my personal underground favorite since 90s, and of course I recommend people to stay on the Vrade is playing. I saw them first time last summer in Norway, and they have really strong songs, especially in the live situation on stage.
All right, before we totally kind of like quit and go home and whatever, we have to remind people that nowadays, since it's a different venue, it's far away from the central area, so obviously people need to eat and drink. How is that possible at Turku saatanalle? What will they have there to serve, so to speak?
The racetrack hall, of course, they have their beer taps and
beer.
Beer is secured, cider is secured,
ting,
shots.
Ting. What else?
And they normally have some hot dogs and stuff like that during the races and there. But now we have agreed with them that they will prepare more variations on the food, and we have published in our Facebook event.
I have this information coming to my in-ear monitor. Somebody said like, "Hey, I'm a vegan black metaler. Can I get some vegan food?" Can they? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know, but you can also get non-alcoholic beverages.
We'll definitely have some salami, because it's a horse track hall.
You get that. All right. Is there anything we need to know more about this event? Any specifics, any details, any interesting anecdote?
Well, the main thing is that if you want to come there, you just check our information and how you can come there. We will soon publish also the schedule of the local buses. You can reach there, but the main thing is the bus transport we are arranging, and the information is found in our website and in Facebook event, and we will post that frequently anyway. So and then also to make everything easier, it's best to get the pre-sales ticket, so you can we will have some tickets at doors, of course, but
to make things easier,
it's 10 seconds and you are in with the pre-sale ticket on your phone.
All right. And what is important to mention to you, dear Rauta viewers, is that we actually agreed a couple of interviews we didn't get to do Sinmar, and by we I mean me and the camera crew, but we have Tools, we have Raid, and we have Usurper already agreed to be done at the venue, and then one, I hope, bonus interview band, which I will not mention here because it's not part of the lineup. We're gonna keep it as a surprise should it ever happen. And obviously you will have those links in the description box below. So in case you're looking for information and you lack some Googling skills, you can just pretty much click those links and find all the necessary information. And in case you're so goddamn unbusy and you want to pester me, I will be sure to help you with the questions. So put them in the comments box below and I'll do my best to answer your goddamn questions. Thank you, Jussi, for your time here and presenting the bands here. Obviously, we're gonna see you guys and gals at the venue, and if not, well, it's gonna be just me drinking alone with Jussi and a bunch of other metalheads, and you rest can be just jealous for us checking out these cool bands. So, see you at Turku saatanalle, and follow-ups will be presented in a review format or one other video, and obviously, of course, these interviews. So, take care, and see you soon with more stuff coming your way.
Bye-bye.